Good afternoon. A warm welcome to you for joining us in Superscreen News at 12, broadcasting to you live from Lagos. I am Olamide Onka. Many thanks for joining us. President Muhammadu Buhari says he is not preoccupied with the 2019 election, in which he has indicated interest to run for a second time. In a statement by Special Advisor on Media and Publicity, Femi Adesina, according to the president, they campaigned on three major issues, which include securing the country, to revive the economy and fight corruption. President Buhari told the British Prime Minister, Theresa May, that he is more concerned about his administration's three-point program rather than on the forthcoming elections. The police in Abuja have again dispersed protesting members of the Islamic movement in Nigeria with tear gases. The Shiite members were protesting the continued incarceration of their leader, Sheikh Ibrahim El-Zakzaki, at Maitama, when armed policemen swooped in on them, firing tear canisters at them. The development paralyzed traffic and commercial activities around the area, as everyone avoided the area to guard against attacks from the fracas. Many of the Shiite members were seen running away, while some of them defiantly stood their ground as police truck fired water cannons at them. The federal government says it is leading the African Union Peace and Security Council PSC field to South Sudan. Permanent representative of Nigeria to the African Union, Bankole Adeoye, told journalists that the mission is a key agenda for Nigeria and the PSC for the month of April 2018 under the chairmanship of Nigeria. Adeoye said the 5-day mission to South Sudan, which commenced on Sunday, will end on April 19th. The PSC, led by Nigeria, will also endeavor to find solutions to the political and unfolding economic challenges while engaging the government and opposition parties within the civil society. Chairman of the People's Democratic Party, Uche Secondus, has allegedly received 250 million naira from the office of the National Security Advisor under the leadership of the embattled former NSA Colonel Sambo Dasuki, retired. Report says Secondus, who was the deputy chairman south of the PDP at the time, allegedly received the money during the build-up to the 2015 general elections. Secondus and erstwhile chairman of the PDP, Adamu Muazu, the lawmaker representing Akwa Ibom Northeast Senatorial District, Basia Akban, were alleged also of receiving vehicles worth about 1.1 billion naira from an oil magnate standing trial before a federal high court in Abuja. Secondus, who said the government would not stop at anything to tarnish the image, asked the command agency to do all within its possible to prove the allegations to court. The People's Democratic Party, PDP, has faulted the 90-day ban on grazing in some communities in Borno State by the Governor, Godwin Obaseki, describing it as an insufficient one to address the illings and challenges posed by herdsmen. Obaseki on Sunday banned the herdsmen from operating in Odigi, Odigutwe, and Owan communities and their environs in the Ovia Northeast local government area of the state as part of the measures to prevent attacks on farmers and other residents. The governor also set up a special task force made up of security agencies to dislodge criminals posing as herdsmen in the communities. The People Democratic Party said while the governor's action had vindicated the opposition party's call for an outright ban on open grazing, they said the governor had only succeeded in postponing the evil days. The kidnappers of two staff of the Akure North local government area of Borno State, Marcos Akinduko and Gabriel Ajayi, have demanded 50 million naira for their release. The report says some gunmen abducted the two council officials on Saturday on Ishe local government area of the state while returning from an occasion. It was also gathered that the four armed men intercepted the vehicle that conveyed the victims and three other council workers. State Police Public Relations Officer Femi Joseph said the command is working towards ensuring the safe release of the kidnapped men for their abductors. President Muhammadu Buhari has admitted that stopping the teaching of history as a subject in schools is a big mistake. President Buhari, who disclosed this at a meeting with the British Prime Minister Theresa May in London, promised that the federal government will return history to the school curriculum. The President Buhari highlighted the importance of education and revealed that his administration is making more investment to improve on the sector. Meanwhile, police in Borno State has arrested a female suicide bomber identified as Zara Idris near an internally displaced person camp in Bakassi, Maiduguri. The police public relations officer, Edet Okon, said the suspect, who was successfully arrested before detonating the bomb near the IDP camp, is currently in police custody. He said on sighting the bomber, conventional policemen alongside the EOD counterparts swung into action and cordoned off the area to prevent escape of the bomber into the city. Commissioner of Police in Borno State has asked members of the public to go about their activities without fear and to promptly report any suspicious movement around them to the police or other security agencies. The Joint Health Sector Unions, JOHESU, has announced on indefinite strike, paralyzing the activities in all health institutions across the country. According to JOHESU, all federal government health institutions in Nigeria, including the federal medical centers, specialist hospitals, orthopedic hospitals, psychiatric hospitals, amongst others, will be the first to shut down. The National Vice Chairman of JOHESU, Ogbonna Chimela, who disclosed this, said if the government allows the strike to continue after 2 weeks, all states and local government health offices will commence from midnight. We will recall that JOHESU had embarked on a nationwide strike last September to protest, among other issues, salary adjustment, promotion arrears, and improved work environment for its members. On the 9th day of the strike, JOHESU struck a deal with the government, which is yet to meet any of the demands. We'll take a break now. When we return, we'll take the news from the business world. Stay with us. And now for some business stories. The federal government is currently investigating 28 of its ministries, departments and agencies over allegations of contract inflation and conversion of government assets to personal use. The Director, Special Projects Ministry of Finance, Mohammed Dikwa, confirmed these in a presentation at an evaluation workshop on the whistleblower policy and assets tracing team organized by the Presidential Advisory Committee Against Corruption. The purpose of this workshop is to initiate discussions on how to improve the implementation of the policy in accordance with global best practices. In the presentation made available to journalists, Dikwa said 791 investigations are being carried out by the whistleblower units. Still talking business, the report says the country's power grid has collapsed twice in the past 5 days. Electricity generation figures obtained from the Federal Ministry of Power, Works and Housing in Abuja showed the grid recorded partial collapses on April 12th and 14th of this year. According to reports generated, power on the grid has dropped from a high 3,946.5 megawatts in April to 3,501 in the month of April 12, which was the lowest quantum of grid electricity recorded in the past 2 months. Further findings showed the power generations remained a partially collapsed state, has only moved up marginally from 351.3 megawatts recorded on April 15th to 596 megawatts on April 14th. Electricity on the grid eventually rose to 3,500 megawatts on April 15th. The Nigerian Union of Air Transport Employees, NUATE, says it will embark on an industrial action to protest against the sacking of 22 Nigerians by the management of Kenyan Airways. The General Secretary, NUATE, Olayinka Abioye, who disclosed this, said the airline's action is a violation of Nigeria's labor laws, maintaining that the union will react accordingly. Abioye also said the union had yet to conclude negotiations with the airline before the workers were asked to go. Kenya Airways had on Friday sacked 22 out of its 26 Nigerian employees, representing 86.4% of the entire workforce in the country, and retained only the country manager, the station manager, and 2 others. A non-governmental organization, NGO, in Port Harcourt has taken the initiative of giving grants to businesses and to uplift the people in River State. Coordinator of the group, Eugene Onyeze, advised people to apply for grants, be consistent in their businesses, and build transparent enterprises that will create steady supply of products.
Many people, money entered into their hands, but their inability to manage it makes them to be a failure. So it is very, very necessary we are faithful to our business. When you are running your business, you must be faithful.
Some beneficiaries who spoke to journalists appreciated the grants and promised to use the money effectively.
The truth about the matter is that if you don't have any plan, that is where you have problem when you have money. Already we have a plan. The only thing we are looking at the time is the money to carry out our project and our plan. We'll be looking for where we can be able to get.
We have a lot of plantations. My father has been training us on how to farm, into yam, a lot of farms, vegetables, all kinds of farming. So I enjoy farming. So I'm so happy for this grant, and I have a land already for this project. So if it comes up, the grant comes up, I'll go fully on cassava farming.
It will be one of the producing company, cosmetics and bottled water, where I have planned it on my own. But by the grace of God, in as much as this money comes in, I've planned for it, and I hope that from this, God will make a change in my life and
The Nigerian Communications Commission, NCC, has said it will not approve the sale of Nine Mobile to any bidder without technical competence. The Executive Vice Chairman, NCC, Professor Umar Danbata, who disclosed this to journalists in Lagos State, said a preferred bidder for Nine Mobile has emerged with the full participation of the NCC, maintaining that the bidder is already undergoing financial evaluation. He also said the preferred bidder for Nine Mobile, Telelogy Holdings Limited, has paid $50 million as 10% of the bid price for the acquisition of the country's 4th largest mobile operator, while Smile Communications is the reserved bidder. He also maintained that once the Central Bank of Nigeria has done the financial evaluation of the bidder, the NCC will examine the technical capacity of the preferred bidder. You're watching Superscreen News at 12. We'll take a break now. When we return, we'll take some latest from the foreign scene and some sports stories. Stay with us.